immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CORETV News.
Welcome back. It's nice to have you again. We're on the second segment of Core Digest, and I still have mothers here in the studio, and they are burning to get going again because the search for our girls continues, and this is part of our contribution in getting the girls. What you people out there should be doing, how to influence government to do more, even how to get the girls thinking somebody is thinking about us. Once again, we have in the studio Layla St. Matthew, Jean St. Matthew Daniel, Amy Oyekunle, and Fumi Komalafe. Ladies, you're still very much welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The leader of the sect, when they came out on video, to that is Abubakar Shekau, said, and he boasted that, yes, we did Yanya, we abducted these girls, and I promise there will be more attacks coming. It's not just bombing attack, but there will be more abduction coming. And that threat has started being carried out. 11 were taken
On Monday.
on Monday.
Tuesday after
Monday.
On Monday, Tuesday after the work. 11 further girls have been adopted.
Between 12 and 15.
And that promise is being fulfilled. Amy.
You know, what boggles my mind is the fact that, I mean, not only are they bolder, more bolder, but the fact that there's still a total lack of security again in that region. I would have thought that after the bombing in Nyanya, there will be heightened sense of alert, security, and that wouldn't have happened. I was in Abuja when the other bomb went off.
Okay.
And I was like, in that same Nyanya, how come? Then now this abducting of girls, again it happened in that same area, not the area, but in the same Borno.
Yes.
I would have thought that, you know, you would deploy everything, forensic to go there to be, they wouldn't even have any way of going back in there. It's only a bold thief that steals from somewhere and then goes back and steals again. And that is what's happening. So again, it makes me question and ask, how serious are we in this fight against terrorism? How serious is the government? How serious are the people of Borno State? How serious are our efforts?
How serious are Nigerians, for me, in this fight?
Well,
because they're getting bolder. And Layla's comments at the beginning was, the fear of Boko Haram is the beginning. Is that our wisdom, to be afraid of them? That's the aim of terrorists, is it not?
It is.
It
is, to instill fear.
To instill fear in us. But I think, well, Nigerians definitely want an end to this. But someone must take the lead, and that's the Nigerian state. And when I say that, it appears that the Nigerian state does not have the capability to handle this.
What about we, the people?
Yeah.
Well, we, the people, I mean, we all can be security agents. We all aren't trained to do that kind of thing. Where we become useful is information gathering. You know, if we give information, it becomes useful. But I think that people are also afraid to give information.
Because we'll be treated.
Because security agents, from experience, sometimes cannot be trusted. And you don't really know if the policeman or the security agent you are talking to is a member of the Boko Haram sect. You never can tell. As for the northern elders, I think they might be, it's either out of fear or some kind of blackmail. Because when this thing started in the north, in that Maiduguri region, the rich, they were actually paying Boko Haram for security. Don't forget that the military admitted this much.
Yes.
Yes.
But now, I mean, how far can you go in paying a blackmailer? You know, the moment you give in, the price is, you know, raised again, and you'll always give more and more, and there's a limit to which they can give. I think that this, their latest position, may be born out of fear.
Aha.
Yes. Possibly that, look, go and tell the people in government that they should stop this thing, or we'll wipe all of you out.
That or we expose you.
Or we expose you.
Well,
something. It's either or.
I truly,
that's a
I must
possibility.
apologize. I must apologize to our viewers. Yes, the telephone is yet to be here. For some reason, we just want to get it right. That is why it is not on. But we are still very much on Twitter. You'll see our Twitter handle. They put it on screen very shortly, as well as on Facebook. You can comment, but I do ask for your indulgence. So please, in a very few weeks, we will have our telephones so that you can be part of this kind of discussion. But I can assure you, very soon we will have that. The points every Nigerian is asking. Now the government spokesman, Dr. Doyin Okukwe, says, we are setting up a hotline. And anybody can call it. So that from that, no, not a hotline, an information center of sorts. Yes, an information center that you can get information. Whatever it is that is going on, what the people are doing, you will get updated, sort of.
Or get.
Well, you can give, and of course, we will tell you the stages where we are in this search, so to speak. Leila, what does that tell you?
Well, the thing is, that's progress, because whether plus or minus, because up till that point when he spoke, because I listened to him with Aisha, as I say, and up to that point, the general attitude of those that should give information was that, you know, they couldn't be bothered. It was as if Nigerians were just nobodies. They just kept silent. You see, when tragedy is happening, information management is
important.
Very crucial. It's very important. Whether lies or whether deception or whatever it is, whether the truth, something needs to be coming out, a flow. And I think that's laudable. Let's watch if it is truly going to be, because last week, almost immediately, I think the defense minister or something put out something that, a statement that from henceforth they're going to speak. But he said the information will be coming from Borno, Borno State. Well, and I thought that was a bit strange. It should be coming from the center point. So now I think they have rectified it and said that. So I think it's a step in the right direction.
Which means they're thinking along the lines.
They're being made to think along the lines, because, you know, they're being made to think along the line, because we're getting to a point where change and transformation has to happen. The Nigerian public, the Nigerian citizens must be respected. We got you there. It is very important that when you get there, you don't assume the fiefdom, I can do anything and get away with it. You dare not do it in other civilized environment. And it's about time Nigerians stop being armchair critics, social critics, and begin to put their action. Engage. Don't be afraid. Engage.
When you talk about this engage, it's a little funny, because now look at that. That was what happened here in Lagos. I mean, those are some of
That's Abuja.
This is Abuja. I mean, what happened? So when you talk about this engage, how many of us are really truthfully engaged? For me,
engaged in activism.
Activism like this. I mean, how many women will come up?
There is no society in which you have everybody being an activist. Some people just have to set the leader. You have, in fact, I'm a veteran of some of these things.
But no engagement in Kaduna, no engagement in Kano, no engagement in Adamawa, even though there is a partial state of emergency, is it not?
Yes, but like I said, even when we came out on the 6th of March, she was there. There was a lot of where are the northerners? Why are they not talking? Why are you people talking? And we say we're one Nigeria. We're one Nigeria. If a group of people speak as one on behalf of another group that seems to be going through conflict, we are one Nigeria. So we're engaging. Whether it's some areas are not engaging, they're different. There are gray areas, so we are engaging.
But you know, I also need to say that sometimes you also need to look at it from the context of where we're coming from. In the Southwest, we are pretty damn lucky, I think.
Yes.
We are very, we talk a lot, people. You know,
we talk a lot.
But we talk a lot, but we also have a situation whereby we are allowed to. In the North, it's a bit probably from their culture.
It's the culture,
you know, but also even then with in Kaduna, in Adama, in those states that you called, there's a repressive, of course, state of emergency and things like that. So they're not even allowed to. There are a few of them who are quite vocal and things like that. So we look at it from that place. When this child marriage,
the Leila Dogoyaro of this world, where are they?
Well, that's why there was only one Leila Dogoyaro.
And this is
and there are more people coming up.
So another Leila is taking
Let me tell you one thing. It's laudable that on April 30th, when the move started, it started from Abuja. The first one was Abuja, and it's laudable because they came out.
They did.
Our northern sisters came out. Our northern brothers came out, plus the southern everything. We came out as one. And then it started.
We are
that's
one.
How we did it. We are one. We are one.
Kaduna even had something.
Kaduna had something. We are one. Benin is having one today, and then all over the diaspora, they kept having this hashtag, bring back our girls, because it's not just us. Like Malala.
I was just going to talk about Malala, because Malala's statement was rather pointing to women and mothers in the North.
Yes. No, what she was saying, Malala, number one, said that Boko Haram does not even begin to know what Islam is all about. You understand? Because it's very un-Islamic what is going on. In fact, I know so much about the ways of Islam now with all these things that is happening, and from what the little I know, it's a very fair religion in sex. You know, it's very fair,
and
they protect women actually. And even this child marriage thing, it's only if the child consents, and all of them do not consent. It's the parents that consents. It's not there anyway. That's another issue. You understand? Malala said that if we do not curtail this, it's going to go on all over. She said it this morning, that if we do not find these girls and put our foot down, this group of people that's sprouting all over the place, it's not just, you know, in the up there. It could spread to the western sub-region, spread the other way, and even out of Africa. So it's the woman and the child, the girl child.
That's the one from Kano.
Okay.
The protest in Kano yesterday.
You see, Kano came out yesterday. Yes. Kano came out, and they're becoming bolder. Because in one voice, how long can you live in fear? How long can you live in fear? You understand? If they kill one person, another person will get up. You understand?
And I think you know what, it's inevitable that people will start to speak out wherever you are. When Malala was shot, everybody condemned it. You shoot the child. Come on,
just because she wants education.
You know what? I look at it. That is bullying at the highest.
Bullying.
And how do you deal with bullies? You have to, at some point in time, look them in the face and take them on and say, you know what? I will not let you. And it's not just one bully, but it's a group of people that will face that bully. And that is how I see this. That is what it is.
A little girl was saying the other day that, well, the About Women riot was a very big one for Nigeria, and a history of ours that will always go down to that made a government sit up. But our women, our mothers, the frontliners, the activists, don't have that much of guts. Those were words from a schoolgirl. And I thought, yeah, maybe you've been reading history, but have you spoken or engaged with these women? How do you dissipate this from the mind of a young girl?
Well, the thing is, from my own point of view, the About Women riots was a situation that happened at a particular time, you know, at a particular time. There are various ways of getting your opinion through. For instance, during the About Women riots, there was no social media, there was no Twitter, there was no Facebook, and with Twitter, Facebook, and all Instagram, we reached the world. That's how we got the international attention. You know, so it's a much wider reach than they are. But what we have done, because a whole group of women are not coming with leaves and maybe we take off our tops and
not necessarily, but you just say you're not going to put salt in the. I spoke with Margaret Apple.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes,
I spoke with. I had a
They didn't
very
give their
extensive
husband
chat
salt
with-
to eat.
No salt in the food, no oil, and they're going to do that. And every man must do something. Even the Prime Minister did not get salt in his food.
we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
But you know what?
We're going to get
I'm not inciting.
When you
Insight.
spoke, it would be interesting to know. And this is an aside. When you spoke with Margaret Atwood, were there any repercussions that came out of women not putting salt in their husband's food, for instance? I mean, I just want to know. This is an aside.
There wasn't. In fact, they became afraid.
Yeah, so
The men became afraid, and of course, it trickled to the federal authorities, and everybody started. Women in the north started doing it. It started from one enclave, and of course, it touches that. There was no social media, but the truth was, people became conscious of the woman power. What
people
women
are
can
becoming
do.
conscious now because it's
Because
the
if
women
we can
coming
see
out.
that, if we can see that of what happened in Kano yesterday, with women coming out, that is boldness.
It's
Yes.
boldness.
It is.
That's what I said, that women are coming out all over the place. And the
in
more,
Lagos, they
yes,
closed the market.
They closed the market on that day, on
Yes,
Monday.
yes,
They
on
closed
Monday.
the market. So the young girl should know that there are different ways to catch a thief. There are different methodologies to get things happening. And methodology is working because fear, like she said, was used to is still operating in the north. But for these women to come out boldly, do you understand me? Then there is a wave, there is a change that is happening.
Do what you like.
Change needs to be permanent, not just isolated. We don't want an isolated change. We want a situation whereby the change, even after the girls are rescued, the change carries on that will influence education. I was listening to the World Economic Forum, and yesterday one of the things that was very prominent was the discussion on education. And one thing that was said is that it is something that has to be thrashed out, very important, or else in future Nigeria will be a nation of illiterates.
Yes, because it's a knock-on effect.
Yeah.
So you have girls who were in school, who were writing exams, and they've been adopted. So, and now you now have parents who will be wary and afraid to send their children to school, particularly their girls. Of course, most of these girls that are in school, they were even boys, because boys are killed. Most of these girls, there's some sort of incentive for, particularly for the North. The North has the worst indicators for girl retention rate in school. So girls go to school, primary school, secondary school,
And
very
stop.
few, and stop. And it is very clear that to fight poverty, to fight many of the issues that we have, education is key.
Education is
particularly education of girls.
If we decide, particularly at this time, that this foreign troop is necessary for us because the government have not done anything, does that seem to you giving up by the government, saying
don't we
take
ask for
over?
debt
Debt
relief?
relief?
Exactly.
Don't look when it concerns money.
Would you think it's the same?
Yeah, we ask for help. Debt
why would
relief
we ask
puts
for
you
help?
into the hands of the. Isn't that what the IMF did? You understand? There was all kinds of repercussions because they didn't harness the IMF very well. But debt relief is like that. If you put your nose in the noose of the person who's giving you money, then you are accountable to that person. But you need to just put some parameters around it, some things around it. So it's the same. So why is it that now it concerns pride? Now, as she said, now it concerns ego. Now we are saying we shouldn't. But if it concerns money,
we couldn't handle it.
yes, if it concerns money to come and cancel all the monies, questionable monies that they can't account for. Oh yes, they go cap in hand. No.
You know why I did ask this? Senator Barbara Collins says to the President of the United States, Senator of the United States Congress.
Yeah.
Barbara Collins says, look, we cannot be looking at these girls and we sitting comfortably in Washington. Mr. President, you must send special forces,
Yes.
whether they ask for it or not.
Yeah, because human lives are involved.
They're
I mean,
involved.
we are not talking about chickens. We are talking about human beings.
Girls.
And
Young
the
girls.
senator is right, you know.
There are 2 female senators involved in this world that, I mean, surprisingly, not just from the opposition. I mean, one of them from the opposition, a Republican senator and a
They're
Democratic.
feeling it.
Because they are united,
They're
in their
They're 2 opposing forces, but they're united.
There are certain things, which is what makes the whole Nigerian situation even much more
Even
appalling.
sad.
There are certain things that should unite us. When it comes to human beings, when it comes to human lives, loss of human lives, when it comes to even the most vulnerable young girls who don't
We
even...
still are not united.
There are certain things that we should shield ourselves and say, you know what, I don't care well,
But that's not the political language or the body
which
language.
is what makes
Is it not?
no,
Is it-
which is
Oh.
no,
Which
she
is
went
wrong.
there, she went there. I didn't go there. But this is what makes it even much more unbearable to even think that. Come on, why this PDP or APC? Who cares? There are people's lives at stake. Let us together and come together and find them. After that, you can go back to your different fractions. That is what makes it amazing. I can't believe we are talking about politics right now. Let us find this
Should
girl
we not?
first.
Because, well, it's
We
only
shouldn't.
recently that political parties are beginning to not sing in concordance tune, but giving a slap of support, so to speak.
They're beginning to come out.
And this they too took their 2 weeks time. They took
two
their 2 weeks time. So
Until
at
they
the end of
saw
the day,
that
it wasn't
the
only the presidency
It
that took
wasn't.
time. It
the,
was
the people too, until they started. But some of them had started speaking. You understand? But let me tell you something. If that school was a school for the elites,
it wouldn't be a school for the elites. It was the middle of nowhere.
no, what I mean is, if it had been an abduction of any of the children of the powers that be, I tell you, 24 hours would be too small. They would move into that Sambisa, whatever that place is.
And level it.
Because
and
Fumi
level
did
it.
mention, let's get the graphic. Fumi mentioned, how could Zambesa be? It's not in the
Sambisa
south.
is not in the south.
It's not. I mean, this is somewhere that is in the desert area.
Desert area, only
So-
pockets of dense areas.
I heard
and-
yesterday
and
that it
caves.
was a rocky,
And caves.
And they have
a rocky terrain as
and
well.
they have caves. That's why they know how to disappear, just like in Afghanistan and Pakistan.
No, and you know what they also said, that they said it's very close to the Cameroon or
Yeah, they
Chadian border.
disappear
So there
in
is
there.
literally there's no fort, there's no security there. So it's literally okay, I just
And they
crossed.
said they
Should we have some form of lockdown of our borders, so that these girls...
This is something that definitely we should talk about.
We should talk about
But
it.
what amazes me, and
have had
I should
that.
say this, is that we haven't had any word from the Cameroon or Chadian
The
government.
Cameroonians
And
are
the
not saying
Nigerians, they're not
anything.
saying
They're not saying
anything.
Well, some Nigerian soldiers went ahead into Niger and abducted people,
Eh?
or rather, arrested some people who are supposed to be suspected Boko
They
Haram
crossed
people
over, yes.
from Niger. That we know now. Nobody is asking for permission.
So it is, let us go into each other's
You see?
territory.
Chad, Cameroon has not said anything.
The
No word from
International
Chad.
Court and UN should come out.
Even the
and
AU.
see, AU
Oh,
should
the
come
AU,
out,
yes.
and ECOWAS.
ECOWAS.
We actually wanted to have a press conference on Tuesday. That was when it came. But then events now came up and we cancelled it
Escalated.
because a group of us, Advocacy Forum for Change, and nobody is calling them to order. There should now be an ECOWAS meeting calling all those sub-region people, Chad, Niger, Cameroon, and even Republic of Benin, Chad, Niger, Cameroon, to come and explain themselves.
What are
and
you people
see
doing?
how- What are you people? You are crossing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What can we do?
I
Yeah?
still put the blame squarely
On the
feet of
leaders.
the federal
Yes,
government.
of course, yes.
The federal government had everything to have moved in earlier than now.
Yes.
But it didn't
It
happen.
didn't-
unfortunately.
they didn't
now we
happen.
want to
Yeah.
talk, yes.
Nigeria is a big player in the ECOWAS region.
Exactly.
Yes.
We can
But
dictate.
we failed to use our might when it was necessary.
Because we don't understand how to use it.
I mean,
Or there's something that they are
there's
hiding.
no country in this region
Yes.
that Nigeria cannot call to order. Okay? And talking about our borders, they still remain as porous as anything.
Very porous.
Very porous. So people move in and out.
Very
The
porous.
borders literally have been closed. That's what the federal government said. But nothing is
When
closed.
in a state there are
People
about
move around.
80 points, 100 points of entry. We haven't begun to even do border patrol
At all.
We haven't.
The federal government should take the blame
It's
for
only
the
border patrol for
escalation
the
of this
money
problem.
making
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
They
Because
take the blame.
The president is in charge. He's the commander-in-chief.
He's the commander-in-chief.
Let's just put it that way. He is the commander-in-chief.
It doesn't
So
matter
he
what
should-
you did, what he did.
He's the
buck stops here.
commander-in-chief. And instead of doing something, they were doing rallies, they were dancing away. It was
Exactly.
sad. They were dancing away, they were receiving this and that and all over the place. They were behaving
His
callous.
body language,
His body language
was sending wrong signals even to the security forces.
Yes.
If you are a commander-in-chief and you are seen dancing at
Dancing
rallies,
at rallies and having
I mean, you
parties.
expect people that you didn't give orders to go and start looking for,
They won't.
you know, people in the forest facing armed people when they are not properly equipped. The federal government came out to condemn the governor of Borno, but I support the governor of Borno. He knew what he was talking about because he has been governor over nobody. Maiduguri, the capital, is deserted.
Totally.
So the man came out of frustration to say, look, the governors cannot even control state commissioners of police.
They
That is
can't.
the truth. I mean, we are all living witnesses to what
Of
happened
so
in
many
River
things in
State.
river states.
So the president should just take, in a civilized country, the president ought to have resigned for his inability to take decisive. No, it's true.
Oh, no,
If this
I said
happened
nothing.
elsewhere, I
would
mean,
have
you will not
called-
find
yeah,
him
yeah.
sitting in Asoro.
Yes.
That is the
But it
truth.
still comes down to the people. The people are the ones who would decide that they will not take any nonsense from people that we vote in. Because the people too have a role to play. But whenever we come out, so, like this morning, why should they stop the rally in Kogi State?
They said it's a security problem.
Which security purpose? These women coming out do not have arms. Where else could there be a security issue than Abuja? And they've been coming out and the police
Everywhere.
have
That's
been
a border- that's a border state.
That's a border, and they've been protecting them. We came out on Monday too. It's a security, because before then we heard that the South is going to do this, do that, do that. Even when we came out for the Nigerian Women Month, I know that my daughters even said to me, "Mommy, you are going out." A lot of people said, "You people are going out, be careful." Oh." But if some people don't go out, why have they stopped them? What are they sending? On Monday, they arrested the
Leader.
the
Convener.
leader, not the convener,
The Chibok woman.
Chibok leader.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Chibok leader, she was taken in the morning and it went viral. We mobilized the legal to go into Asokoro and everything. By afternoon, they said no, that they were
just questioning
they were
her.
just
They
questioning her.
released
They
her.
were not just questioning her. She said that she was in contact with one of the parents who told her to represent and all kinds of funny things. What kind of message are you sending? And we heard that it is our dearly beloved Dame Patience who ordered. That's why I asked. I said, what are the parameters of authority that the wife of a sitting president has? I asked that. It's not personal.
Do you know
It's not personal.
on this morning when I woke up, I was going through Twitter and I saw a picture of the First Lady of America.
About just
You know.
holding that, she didn't say anything.
And she just helped bring back our
Bring
girls.
back our girls. That's
And you
and
know
it
what?
sent a
And you know,
lot of messages.
I feel like I was like, oh, it's like, you know, I know this woman. Look at her. You know, look at the First Lady that
Yes.
says, you know, this.
Yes.
Bring back our girls.
That was all.
Is that not what she should be saying?
Oh.
Here we are told that we are crying more than
We are
the
crying
belief.
more than
Can
the
you
belief.
imagine?
Is that not what you should be saying?
And saying we're on our
is
own.
that not what you should be
Exactly.
saying?
Protesting.
Since she made that statement,
She
they
told
began
all
to
First
stop
Ladies-
rallies.
They started
She
to
said,
And I
she said all
suspect
First
that-
Ladies should not be part of all
No,
this.
I
Can you
even suspect
imagine?
that there must have been a directive from the IG to the state police commissioners. You have seen Kogi now. You will see
You'll
it
see
again.
some because
You
others
see
are
it again.
supposed
There
to
must
come
have
out.
been a directive.
Are we
to say, stop
in
these
a
rallies.
dictatorial regime or a
It
democracy?
looks as if we're in a dictatorial regime.
You are the mothers, so tell me, because it's beginning to sound like you know a bit more.
Yeah,
than
but
what
you
is
are
it.
the
You're
journalist. Remember,
Yeah,
our president
I know we've
said
gotten
you
our
are
flag.
the journalist.
We're gonna
you
get
should
our
say.
flag.
No, what I mean is, even the president said that you journalists know more. When he was giving that media release, he said you journalists should tell us. So you journalists tell us.
Yes, I've been to Borno, and I tell you, I can say to you that mothers say, please take my child away.
Yes. Wouldn't you say that?
Take my child away.
Because
I
they will
was
kill them.
told,
Shay?
take my child away.
Who
Wherever
told-
it is you go.
Who
Do you know
to-
what?
Who said
Listen,
to take their
let me
child
give
away?
you.
Boko Haram?
Let me give you a scenario. Please understand that at some point,
Give
when
a
when
scenario.
they were killing
That is the
when they were killing
desperation of mothers.
when they were killing in Jos, there were many mothers who were saying, take their children to Lagos, whether it is to go and do
Just
house
take
support,
them away.
just take them. Which mother, even a mad woman, wants her child wants to bury her child, wants to see her child torn limbs from limbs, or wants to know that her child is constantly raped on a daily basis, or wants to see a rape go on in front of you, or even wants herself to be raped? Take my child away. That is.
If we've gotten to that stage,
take my child away.
And we're talking about government's overbearing influence on security forces now, saying we expect even more condemnation of rallies.
Can you imagine?
Their priorities are, forgive my French, I wouldn't say it on TV, but
please don't.
Okay.
I don't allow colorful language.
Well, no, it would have, no, it's messed up. But
no, is that messed up? Like,
yeah, but even then, that's wrong for me. But their priorities are really warped, and I think that is. You see, this whole thing has made it very clear for me that okay, you know when you use a microscope on something, you are definitely meant to see all the pores and all the cracks and all the. We've seen it. We've always lived with it. We've always known that this is a default kind of government that we're dealing with, and we've tried to manage it. But it's now beginning to be very clear that after a while you can't manage.
2015 is here.
Vote wisely.
Look, the Burni Yadi slaughter. After that, did they not have a big party?
Where?
In Abuja.
In Abuja, the 100 whatever it is.
Oh yes,
they were dancing.
They were dancing
when kids were slaughtered.
Let's Omamba say cult that they killed over 100 policemen and whatever. I hear 1 year later that they are still yet to compensate the family.
But you see, another position we're looking at is CAN came out to say we have a list of those girls 17 days after. Now these are their names. 80% of them are Christians, and only about 10% who are Muslims, the girls who are abducted. We believe these girls should be compensated with 50 million naira each and all of that.
You see what happens.
This is where we go.
Hang on a minute. You see what happened, and after, and this is probably again I share Fumi's, that says when the center doesn't hold, everybody is running around like a headless chicken. So when it was obvious, because if they are taking control from the very beginning, giving information as and when it was needed, and made themselves look as if they know what the heck they are doing.
The government,
this wouldn't have happened, because after everybody started saying, okay, this is what we are doing, this is what we are doing.
Then rumors, all kinds of
and
things.
so Khan had to do something. I'm not sanctioning what Khan did at all. Far from it. They had to probably make it look as if they too were concerned and they're doing something, and maybe they are concerned.
That's why they are.
The idea of saying what is wrong with them? The idea of saying they're 80% Christian or 20% Muslim.
Let's be concerned about the human life first. Let's find them first. And like Leila said, we are not even sure we're definitely
conditions.
Conditions we're going to find them
about their conditions.
But let me put a new dimension in the whole equation. So I called a contact of ours in Maiduguri yesterday and said, look, because I've been getting calls from donors and foreign donors and think, what can we do? What is it that we can do? Security-wise, we probably can't do anything in the sense that we are not the ones that will go in there with the guns. So I called her and said, okay, what is it that? And she said, look, what they need now is the parents of the girls need psychological.
Did I not? I didn't speak with her about it.
No,
as
they
a
need.
psychologist.
You know why? Because you see, they are traumatized. They are afraid. They are constantly living in that Boko Haram will come back for them, or they don't know where their girls are. So they are in that, they're in that limbo that they need help. She went to Chibok 2 days ago, and look, that is what they need. She kept on repeating on the phone, this is what they need, this is what they need. And I was like, what kind of help?
So don't we have enough psychologists in Nigeria who agree to go to Chibok even now?
I can spearhead it. We didn't talk because she came in and we had to come in here. And I've been saying it that some people have been saying, get the trauma consultants, therapists after. I said no. Right now we should mobilize and get these parents begin to work on them, because they are the foundation.
Can we get the parents out of the place? Would it make more sense?
Would you leave if you knew your daughter or your child or your what is still
you will keep hoping that. But if we put something very firm into place and there is a connect when the thing first happened, I said, let them evacuate Borno and create UN kind of refugee camp. I went to Rwanda and I saw it. You understand? And it's a whole village.
Move
them out. Anyway, what are they there for? They've broken their offices, businesses, set up place, taken their chickens and everything, their schools.
They come and rob them every day.
Out into a UN-controlled assistance, and then work on them. When the girls come out wherever, and the boys, because some boys are taken away as well.
Yes,
it's not just about girls, because the boys are being indoctrinated. That is why they are targeting the Muslims, because the Islamic fundamentalists are at loggerheads. The real Muslims are saying that this is not how it works. Then they target them. They target them. Real core leaders walk around with arms, because it's too fighting in there. It's like the Christians too. We have some hardliners who are Old Testament based, and we have the New Testament based. So there's always a conflict sometimes. It's just that we are more, you know, we are more vocal against the Old Testament. But you see, move them out, then we can get to the children. I mean, to the mothers. Then when the children come out, they will not be brought into the area of conflict, which is going to be a psychological trauma. You bring them out immediately to this safe zone that they will create. That is what I think should happen. That is the need right now.
That's what the government can do, because you and I cannot do that.
Look at what happened yesterday. They were talking to a parent in shadow and everything. And the guy said that every night they cannot sleep in their homes. They go to the bushes to sleep there, because they don't know when they will be raided again. So why don't you evacuate? Somebody said evacuation would mean that they are giving in to the threats.
Is it not? Is it not? Because this man has said we are going to attack again.
Excuse me, sir. Wisdom is profitable. For a little while, you can retreat to get your balance and then come back. Bring them out and let them have a safe enclave, because when peace comes to the area, you can rebuild. Second World War, they rebuilt.
I to an extent I might agree with that, but also this happened also in Pakistan when they were recruiting young boys for Al Qaeda and Taliban, and young girls who were being not taken away, and it happened, but they didn't remove them from the situation. I can't remember how they said they worked, but it wasn't a case of, because sometimes it's not just Chibok as a village, it's small villages in this
pockets,
and Maiduguri itself is huge, and it is in a wide expanse of land. But even in Maiduguri city is also a bit sketchy, because there's every other point there's a checkpoint. There's a checkpoint every other, and it still doesn't stop them from coming in and shooting sporadically in Unimed and in all those places. So I think that as an option, maybe for certain villages that are nearer the camps
and bring them closer to where the urban area.
Better yet, this is where we need to get our act together and put your money where your mouth is and get intelligence and start investing in our military. I know you said something in the military earlier that they are, but no, not that kind of investing. Investing in them in the sense that, because sometimes you need to infiltrate these people.
Indeed.
You need to infiltrate these people.
Well, the president did say that. He did say that, well, because there hasn't been anything happening.
I beg your pardon?
He said, not now. I mean, they did not invest. I'll give it to him, because that day he said
that was factual.
That was factual.
No.
Invested.
There have not been anything happened since when? Since when? Let us get
Leila, don't go there.
Since
don't
when?
go there.
This is 3 years. 3 years. How long?
Let us support the president for what?
Before the start. Let's support him. Before the start.
Excuse me.
Don't go there.
Wait. Let me just ask a question.
Okay.
In any place, like in the Navy, in US, and I watch a lot of it, they have a special ops. They have a special ops.
Special ops.
So America is always in the state of,
readiness.
Yes.
Well, in the state of
it's a department. It's a department that is
not for.
That's it.
We are always in the state of readiness for politics. Politics is just us. And like somebody said, if there was not so much money involved in getting a position, will people really be vying for those positions?
Make it unattractive, I suppose.
Make it unattractive.
Now we go again. That was why I was asking you. 2015 is here. The women.
Are you coming out? Are you coming out? Will you come out?
What?
Wouldn't you? Well, see, there you go.
I'm asking to do what? Won't I know what I'm coming out for?
Exactly.
Not to vote, of course. To contest.
To contest.
Yes.
Am I saying after the fact?
A position?
Any position.
I've been speaking
you know what?
with
You
these
can do
wonderful
it.
women and mothers because I mean you just can't but enjoy them. But you see, we are so apathetic to a lot of things, and unfortunately, the situation continues. We are still searching for this girl, and we keep doing our bits little by little. It's not just government's efforts now that we're talking about. We're looking at your effort, your contribution. Let us put our money where our heart is. And the heart of Nigerians and the world over, and every parent, is to see these children back.
Yes.
They call it
Bring back our girls.
DBO.
Bring back our girls.
Bring back our girls. I want to say a big thank you to you, Fumi Komalafe, for coming.
It's my pleasure.
Mama Leila. Say Matthew Daniels. What can I say?
Without an
Welcome.
S.
Without an S. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't put an S in it. I wouldn't put an S in it. And of course, Amy. Kunle, we thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And we hope when next we call you, you will oblige.
Definitely.
Tell us when the next rally is. The one we're going to Chiba Bush.
Very soon.
Very soon.
We too. We are doing. We are doing covert operations.
Covert
We can't tell you.
Yeah, we can't
Trust
tell
the
you.
women.
Only a few
Trust
people
the
that will
women. You don't need to be told.
Exactly.
They'll be back.
Just be ready.
Be ready. And so we are. Boy Scouts, are we not? But it's been Core Digest, and tomorrow is another day. I am Sheyi Martins. On behalf of every one of us here, we wish you well. Bye now.
I don't think the election was actually... What are the people saying?
5 local government out of the 30 local government is more than many states in the north. The economy is booming. Where is the economy booming?
Bomb blast in Abuja.
Don't you have security?
Why are we fighting?
Presidency should not just sit in Abuja or in Asokoro or wherever he lives.
The lot are sponsoring this local arm. They know them. Men cannot be there and be there at the same time.
The life of the citizens, community need to be protected.
It can't work out.
Bring the message of peace. Let there be proper devolution of power from the center. The center is too powerful.
The People, only on Core TV News.